We are taping this one on a Friday afternoon in free Melbourne, as opposed to lockdown Melbourne. And it's our first episode, actually, which we're filming a podcast, which is kind of a bit weird because I now feel the lenses of cameras on us. But this will be available on our YouTube channel in the coming days. It's also the very first episode that we've recorded here in the Dunn Street studios since December 2019, when we had Harriet Shing on the podcast. And to mark this auspicious occasion, we're joined by the Premier of the great state of Victoria and the member for Mulgrave, and another guest that is a product of the Morris Brothers education system. Premier Dan Andrews, welcome to Socially Democratic.
Very good to be here, Stephen, and I hope I can fill the considerable shoes that Harriet Shing has left me to fill.
Cast your mind back to early 2020. When was the moment that you understood that this coronavirus that was starting to come into our community was serious and that it required a serious response from government?
I remember we had a series of meetings that culminated in me dragging all the journos down to the Royal Melbourne Hospital. We went into the ICU, into a brand new part of that intensive care unit, which was just being opened. It was another 40 beds, I think, from memory. And I distinctly remember running through all the things that were going to change, not necessarily that day, but they were going to change in the days and weeks ahead. And I talked about school being shut and people having to stay home and all these sorts of things, and that's what a pandemic meant. And I've got this vivid memory of all the journos in the kind of horseshoe, not looking at their phones anymore, not following what was happening on Twitter, but looking up at me and listening and leaning forward. And I thought, yeah, this is serious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone needs to focus on this because this is what's coming. It's going to be like nothing you've ever experienced. That's if it's successful. If it's unsuccessful, then we're going to finish up like Europe finished up, like so many states in the United States finished up, like so many countries across the world where the hospital system just gets completely smashed. You've got to say no to so many COVID patients. You've got to say no to so many people who are not in the hospital for COVID. They're there for a heart attack or a car accident or a stroke or cancer or whatever it might be. They didn't choose to be there, but they need urgent care and there's just no room for them.
Yeah.
So, the days leading up to that media event, it was very real, very, very real. And of course, there's no question about it being real now. This has been everybody's reality for a long time, and it's been painful, it's been challenging. There's also been some positives out of it too.
Yeah. I think I was in denial until the NBA season was cancelled, and then I realised it was serious. But up until that point,
well, there you go. We've all got our own barometers of these things.
We do.
ICU capacity was what really tipped me.
I feel like yours
still, long as an American sport was your guiding principle, that's fine. Whatever your North Star is, mate,
exactly.
Absolutely
I feel
fine.
like your answer's probably better than mine.
It's absolutely
that's
fine.
Why you're in politics and I'm not.